Hi, we're back. New video. Now I'm gonna talk a little about something I read in the news. We have internet now, and a lot of digital nomads are coming to Vietnam and Southeast Asia in general. With that, we also have a lot of fake news. And also we have some negative angles, negative videos about Vietnam, about Thailand, about Bali, and so on. Now you need to remember the culture in these countries are vastly different from the Western culture in Europe, in America, and Australia. So you need to be a little careful about how you express yourself. Um, Now, some would say careful is that's a sign of a bad system, a bad country, or something. But it actually not, because you need to understand that here in Southeast Asia they take pride in their nationalities. So if you are Thai, you are very proud to be a Thai. If you are Vietnamese, you are proud to be a Vietnamese. And to get somebody to then make a video and kind of with fake or untrue statements in the video, that make the people feel like trampled on, and also it give a wrong image for people coming here as tourists, so they might choose another destination. It gave a wrong impression to businesses that want to invest here, and it has consequences. Now in Vietnam there are a lot of digital nomads and a lot of what should I say, social media creators in Vietnam. Some videos are good. I'm not gonna say everything is bad, because but there are some that kind of do not understand that they are in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam, and things happening now. We've seen lately a lot of things have happened in Vietnam. They tighten the rules, and the reason for it is basically Vietnam want to increase the tourists and increase the business. So they want foreign investors and they want more tourists, which every country basically want. So nothing wrong in that. So Vietnam then did waive the visa for a lot of countries. So now many countries have 40 days, 30 or 45 days visa free. And what happened then is you get not only people with money and businesses and investors coming in here, you also get a lot of backpackers and a lot of poor people that don't have money, people that work illegally. So you get a lot of problems with it. And Vietnam, when they do something, everything happens so fast. Like they build something, the buildings go up fast. When they did this decrease, the tourists came very fast, and sometimes a little faster than what people can expect. And the problems came much faster than I thought people did expect. I too was thinking there will be problems, but yeah, they came faster than even I could foresee. So what happened now? Now the Vietnamese have started to crack down a little, and now they started in May and they do all of June. So they are cracking down on foreigners that cannot behave, and foreigners that overstay, and foreigners that don't pay tax, and so on. So that is one change they do now. The other change I saw in the news is that when it comes to social media now, if people now making videos, reports, even writings on the internet, if you write fake news or if you report bad about the country, you can get a fine up to 50 million dong. So that would be maybe like, it's just under $2,000, so maybe $1,800 ish something. The currency change every day, so it's really hard to say exact. I didn't check it today, but approximately around there, $1,800 approximately, if you write something bad about Vietnam or make a video about something bad that is fake. So you need to know this law, this decree will go into effect from July 1. Now today is June 10, so there's still a few days left, but soon that decree is in place. And you need to know, you can get caught and you can get a fine. If you pay the fine, you may get sent out, you may get to stay, I don't know. But if you cannot pay the fine, yeah, then you get a little more problem. So you need to understand, internet is good, but a lot of these videos, many make them just for clickbait. They just want to get famous. They want to make money, they want to be famous, and that's it. And they make videos that actually aren't true. So when you look on internet, you look at all these videos, oh, rich in Vietnam, how cheap you can be in Vietnam, how luxury you can live in Vietnam and stuff. A lot of it is not real. And by saying so, I just say, these people that make the video, they are here for maybe a week or two. Now, if you're a tourist and you're in Southeast Asia for 1 or 2 weeks, you can live like a king, you can spend money like an idiot, it's not a problem. But if you live here for many years, you cannot spend money like that, because then you go broke after 6 months. It doesn't work. That's not the reality. It is fake. And these videos, I don't know if it's that they are after. That was just a vague example. But some are also talking, I have seen on internet, people are talking negative, harshly negative about the politicians, the system. Those people will get taken, and they do in Thailand. They do clean up in Thailand as well a little. So you need to behave when you come to Southeast Asia. It's not like a free kindergarten where you can do whatever you want. Internet is good, but you cannot do whatever you want on internet without any consequence. So my videos may be boring, my videos may be, you know, not many follow my channel, not many like my videos, and that's all right, because I try to tell the truth as far as I can. I rely a lot of what I say in my videos from the news, so at least I can show to the news where I got the information. What I say is actually coming from this news, and I use my channel to share that. So I, in that sense, I try to keep it real, and I try to show everyday life. What is the differences being a Western in Vietnam compared to being a Westerner in Western countries? What is the good things? What is the things that take longer time, cost more money, a little more hassle to get done? And nothing is impossible here. You can get everything done, but some things take a little longer time, and some offices you have to pay a little, so it's a little drag or a little hassle. And that's, I would say, come down to differences, because there are no country on this planet that is perfect. Some things in Vietnam is better than another country, and other things are better in other countries than in Vietnam, because no country is perfect. And I usually say that is the reality. I've also lived in other countries. I've lived I'm from Europe. I have lived in Australia. Um, I have lived in Europe. I have lived in Vietnam now for some years, and I've been a lot in Thailand as well. So I'm not some kind of expert, but I do have some experience. And all I can say is Australia was nice too. Compared to Europe, different. Better in some ways, worse in some ways. Europe, yes, better in some ways, worse in some ways. Vietnam, the same. Better in some ways and worse in some ways, because no country is perfect. And in the end, it is what you do yourself. If you follow the laws, if you contribute, if you try to live, get friends, if you try to participate in the society, you basically have a good life, and you don't have any problems. But if you drink and go to the pub every day and think that's the solution, I go to AC, I'm going to retire, I'm going to be the king, I sit in the pub all day. First of all, that's not the real life. Most Vietnamese and Thai people actually do not sit in the pub every day. One, they cannot afford it, and two, that's just not the real life. They go to work and then they go home, and then they have a lot of stuff to do. They work. You need to understand that even though we have many apartment buildings, many rent it out, because in Southeast Asia the locals actually want to own a house. They want to live in a house. So they out in the garden, they have some chickens, they have stuff to do, they need to take care of the families. They actually don't have time to sit in the pub every day, and they don't. Who sit in the pub every day? It's usually tourists that have nothing else to do, and after a while those tourists usually run out of money, and then they need to go back home poor as hell, because that is the truth. I've seen it many times, and that is the facts. So the reality of the life here is that people here actually work hard. The locals, the Vietnamese, they work hard, and they don't have time to sit in the pub. Those that have money here, they work more or less 24 hours. They work so much, but they are rich and they make a lot of money. But then you have those that are poor. They work their ass off too. They have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and they work and they work and they work, and they still make very little money. But they have to work because they need to send money home to their parents. They need to pay the rent. They need to pay the food. They need to pay the gas on the motorbike. They work. They don't have money to sit in the bar, to sit in the pub. They don't have the time. They don't have the money. They don't have that luxury to sit in a pub. So most locals will not sit in a pub. And that's the fact in Southeast Asia. So most people, they work hard, and that is the people of Southeast Asia. They usually work very hard. They are hard-working people, and when you see all these other videos, I would say a lot is fake. It show 1 minute. If I go to Crescent Mall, yeah, I can see people rich with fancy clothes and stuff. That is 1 minute. As soon as they go out of Crescent Mall, they go home. They are busy. They go back to work. They go to the office. They are out for what, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They eat a little, and because the shopping mall have a lot of restaurants, and most people actually go to eat. When I go to Crescent Mall, the shops don't have that many people inside. It's mostly the restaurants, and then they go back to work, and then they go back home. They don't spend ridiculous amounts of money going shopping every day. It's a utopia. It's fake. So people work, and that's the reality. That's what I try to show in my videos. So I probably never ever gonna be a big YouTuber. I'm probably never ever gonna make money off this channel. But if people can look at my videos and learn a little, then I'm happy. So yeah, I just want to make this video, and I want to tell people, if you make content on internet, in a video, in writing, it doesn't matter, you need to stay on the path of the truth, and you need to think that, you know, if there is anything you want to criticize about Vietnam or Thailand or Philippines or Indonesia, that is not a problem if you do it in a respectful and humble way. But if you start to be, you know, not respectful, and you try to just blast out words and put them down and be disrespectful, and yeah, you can get caught. And now in Vietnam, that may cost you up to 50 million dong. So the fine could be lower, depends on what you write about, or what you say, and also how you, like, what words you use and what visuals you use, but it can be 50 million dong as the maximum, and this is coming into effect on July 1st. So we are not far from July 1st, and so this will be in effect very, very soon. And so basically, yeah, keep making videos, keep do a good job, but stay on the path of truth. Make real videos, not this fake stuff, not that clickbait idiot stuff. It's already enough, and mostly this is again done by, I would say, foreigners that is not, yeah, they don't behave, simple as that. And that as a result of misbehaving on internet and also in real life, Vietnamese government, as many other governments, need to make new laws and rules and tighten it up a little. And that is a result of bad behavior from foreigners. If foreigners did not behave bad, we wouldn't have these laws. It's very simple. The Vietnamese people and politicians are not after anyone. They don't want to take anyone. They absolutely don't want. They actually want tourists to come here. They actually want investors and business to come here. They are friendly, they are welcoming, and they want people to come to Vietnam. They want people here. So that's not the issue. And the reason they tighten the laws is not to be bad to tourists. Is not to say, hey, tourists, we are hard, get the hell out of here. Absolutely not. The Vietnamese government, they just see that now the development has gone a little too far, and when people cannot behave, they constantly misbehave, then they have to do something, because you cannot have a lawless society. You cannot have anarchy. And that is why, if Westerners did behave, if Westerners did, you know, think a little before they put stuff on internet, we wouldn't have this law. So all I can say is we have these laws now, and it's thanks to misbehaving Westerners. Westerners come to Southeast Asia and don't use their bloody heads. They forget the brain when they go on the plane, and they land in Asia, and it's like the brain is gone. And those people make so much problem, and they cannot make a law for only, like, okay, now we make a law for 100 people. No, it doesn't work. When they make a law, it needs to be for everyone. And that's how it is in every country. So the Vietnamese people, they actually welcome people. They want people here. There is no problem with the Vietnamese. They are lovely people, and they try to navigate now through, you know, real world people that are here. But now they need to look at internet as well, which is not the real world, because people are writing a lot of crap on internet. So, but again, it's created because of tourists. I'm not going to say all Westerner, because there are Asian tourists and expats here. There are Arab tourists and expats here. There are African tourists. So not everything is Western, but it is expats and tourists that made this happen. And we need to understand that we cannot say anything bad or blame the Vietnamese politicians for wanting to uphold a lawful society, because that's all they do. They just want people to follow the laws and the rules. It's absolutely nothing more than that. And that is the same in every country. So yeah, that's it. If you don't follow the laws and the rules here, if you misbehave, if you act like an idiot, you can get serious consequences, because now Vietnam is tightening the laws. They make new laws, and they have to, because too many idiots are here and misbehave. That's why the Airbnb ban come. Every new law that kind of, the first you hear about it, can look or seem negative, there is a reason for it. And when you think about it and you read a little more, then you see this is not something the Vietnamese come up with by themselves. If that was the case, they would have done it a long time ago. Okay? If this was the case, they would have done it a long time ago. So that's very easy. This is a result of misbehaving expats and tourists. It's that bloody simple. There is no other way to explain it. The reason for this, the people that destroy for others, the people that are idiots, are the foreigners. Foreigners from all over the world, from Europe, America, Africa, Australia, and Arab countries, and India, and so on. So that is the tourists doing this. And the Vietnamese just need to protect their locals and the, what should I say, law-abiding tourists and expats. So yeah. But anyway, from July 1, 2026, there will be fines and there will be consequences for fake information, and there will be you need to think before you write on internet, and you need to think before you post videos on internet. And if you want to shoot anyone for this, if you think bad, if you're not happy about it, then you know, tell the truth. This is not the Vietnamese people's choice. This is because too many Western or foreigners in general have misbehaved. The foreigners made this rule, this law coming. Just like with Airbnb. The ban on Airbnb in Ho Chi Minh City is made due to foreigners misbehaving. That's how it is. People come here and they do not behave. They don't have a normal behavior. They drink a lot, they doing drugs, they screaming in the hallways at nighttime, in an apartment building where people live, with children needing to get up to school the next morning. People need to go to work early in the morning, but they are here as a tourist for 1 or 2 weeks. They don't give a shit. Sorry, this is not hotels. It's apartment buildings. It's housing for people. People live here. This is our homes. Okay? And when people don't understand that, then I say, then you left your brain when you went on that plane. When you landed here, you had no brain, and you still don't have a bloody brain, do you? You cannot rent Airbnb in an apartment building and think you own it. You go to the gym and you think you own it. Sorry, you are a fucking guest. The people that own it, you should be very humble. When you go to the gym, you should pretend like nobody see me. You should be very humble. If you go to the pool, you know who is in the pool? The people that bought the apartments, they own it. You are, as an Airbnb, you are just a guest. You are allowed to use it for a tiny limited time. Yes, so behave. There are rules, follow them. Every apartment building have different rules because they have different management. And now they make more rules in general that is for the whole country. So now people are misbehaving too much. It's been in the news a lot, and they need to crack down on it because it's actually been too much and it's very, very good that the police go in and clean it up, and the politicians are following up. That is very good, because it creates less problems. It's efficient politicians and efficient police. And if you come here to be an idiot, sorry, you come to the wrong country. Go somewhere else to be an idiot. Stay away from Southeast Asia, because it's not the best place to be an idiot. If you can behave, if you follow laws, follow rules, contribute to the society, Southeast Asia is a great place to stay, great place to live. But if you misbehave, find somewhere else to go, or just stay home. That is probably absolutely best. Stay home, deal with your own laws, deal with your own shit at home. Not go anywhere. If you're that brain dead, just stay home, because most likely you don't have much money either way. So just stay home. That is the absolutely best you can do. That's it for today, guys. July 1, 2026, new law in effect. Misconduct, misbehavior on internet with videos or writing may give you a fine up to 50 million dong. Sorry, I didn't check the currency calculator, but $2,000 would be approximately 57 million dong. So it's about $1,800, about that, yeah. So something like that. So approximately around, I would say $1,800. So yeah, that is the fine you can get. You can get up to that. So know about it before you make clickbait videos. All right, that's it for today. Have a nice day. Bye bye.